recalled immediately due to safety issues. Endogan rival arrested.
You are listening to Big Family Radio. Big Family Radio. Obiase eye. You are listening to Big Family Radio. Big Family Radio. Obiase eye. You are listening to Big Family Radio. Big Family Radio. Obiase eye.
Admission, admission, admission. Are you looking for a computer institution with a serene atmosphere in equipping you with the ability to deepen your understanding and in-depth knowledge in computerization? Then the answer is Big Family Multimedia Institute. Our dedicated and experienced teachers are ready to provide personal attention, support, and help you bring your fusion to bear. We are located at Amasaman Dobrogono, Upper Class Junction, and Santa Maria Family and Friend. For more information, contact 0555 20 80 56 0540 932 188. Website bfmnetworks.com. Email info@bfmnetwork.com. Other affiliates include Center for Trade, Big Family TV, Big Family News, Big Family Radio, Big Family Event, Big Family Multimedia Institute, KabaraInfo.com, Trustees, Okman Motors, Soko Mall, ABK TV Ghana. Enroll now and experience the difference.
You are all that matters.
You're welcome back. My name is Esther Kwesiagbobli, and these are the details of the news. A New Jersey court has awarded investigative journalist Anas Arimeya Wanas $18 million in damages in a defamation case against former Ghanaian MP Kennedy Ejapon. A victory Anas contrasts sharply with his experience in Ghana's courts. While a U.S. jury found Ejapon acted with malice, Anas's similar lawsuit in Ghana was dismissed, a ruling which was later condemned as a violent abuse of judicial authority. Anas used the U.S. verdict to caution Ghanaian politicians against undermining the press and highlighting the importance of press freedom. The lawsuit, filed on May 17, 2022, in the Essex County Superior Court, accused Kennedy Ejapon and Frederick Asamoah of making false and damaging statements about Anas during an episode of the Daddy Fred Show, a popular online program targeting Ghanaian audiences in the United States. The interview, which was streamed live on Facebook and other platforms, garnered over 29,000 views and contained several defamatory claims against Anas. Anas, who is an investigative journalist known for exposing corruption and human rights abuses, argued that the defendant's statements were part of a calculated effort to tarnish his reputation and discredit his work. Kennedy Ejapon's defamatory remarks against Anas Arimeya Anas, which resulted in an $18 million judgment, included accusations of serious crimes and moral failings. Ejapon falsely claims Anas was a convicted criminal and a thief, and even accused him of orchestrating the murder of Ahmed Swali, an undercover journalist who worked with Anas on the explosive documentary Number 12. Swali's murder in January 2019 remains unsolved. Honorable Ejapon also made the unfounded claim that Anas was responsible for the deaths of multiple Chinese nationals in Ghana. Now moving on to the next story. The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources has revoked all small-scale mining licenses issued after December 7, 2024, citing irregularities in the issuance process. Speaking at a press briefing, Minister Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa stated that the licenses were granted without due process. The decision follows recommendations from the EPA, Forestry Commission, and Water Resources Commission. As part of efforts to combat illegal mining, existing community mining schemes have also been disbanded. The government plans to establish a review committee to audit all existing licenses and is considering a new medium-scale mining classification. The announcement comes amid parliamentary debate on a regulation to remove the president's power to grant mining permits in forest reserves. The lands minister emphasized the government dedication to fighting illegal mining, which is also known as galamsey, as a committee reviews regulations to limit presidential control over mining permits. The minister highlighted the reclamation of 7 out of 9 forest reserves previously overrun by illegal miners and called for stakeholder support for sustainable mining practices. These actions fulfill a key promise of President John Dramani Mahama to address Galamsey, with the first deputy speaker mandating review of the new regulations.
You are listening to Big Family Radio. Big Family Radio. Obiase eye.
Away from that story, Mrs. Mame Sama Pepra has officially assumed the office of Acting Registrar of Companies in Accra, following a transition from Mrs. Jemima M. Oware. In her inaugural address, Mrs. Pepra emphasized a commitment to transparency and efficiency, leveraging experience from a diverse legal background. She holds advanced legal qualifications and is also a lecturer at Gempa Law Faculty. The handover was marked by an acknowledgement of the achievements of the prior incumbent, who expressed her gratitude for the support she received during her tenure. She also acknowledged the wealth of knowledge and experience Mrs. Oware brings and expressed her readiness to tap into her expertise to further strengthen the institution. Moving away from that news and onto the news, the office of the FDA. The Ghana Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, has issued an immediate recall of Grand Chateau Sangria Fort, Tetra Pak and canned variants due to safety and regulatory violations. The FDA stated the unregistered products were illegally sold and promoted on social media, violating sections of the Public Health Act 2012. The FDA also cited misleading packaging that could lead to accidental alcohol consumption by children. Retailers and wholesalers must halt sales immediately and return all stock to Cave and Garden Ghana Limited or the FDA offices. Consumers are advised not to purchase or consume the products and to report any sales to the FDA. According to the FDA, the recall is necessary for the following reasons. The importer of these products operates in violation of sections 97, 98 and 103 of the Public Health Act 2012, Act 851, as they are not registered with the FDA. Consequently, the sale and distribution of these products are illegal. The products are unregistered with the FDA. 3. The packaging and size of these products are deemed deceptive and misleading, posing risks such as potential accidental alcohol ingestion by children, which could endanger their health and safety. They urge the public to report any information regarding the sales of these products via their official communication channels, including www.fda.ghana.gov.gh. Phone lines are 055-111-2224 or 5, or you can also email them on fda@fda.gov.gh.com. The Chief Executive Officer of the FDA assures the public that these measures aim to prevent potential harm and uphold health and safety standards nationwide. Away from that story, Daniel Kuranten, a businessman, has been remanded in connection with the 2019 murder of investigative journalist Ahmed Hussein Swali, with prosecutors alleging he unlawfully caused the journalist's death. The Medina District Court heard that Swali had identified Kuranten as the source of his images broadcasted by MP Kennedy Ejapon, who publicly called for retribution against the journalist in 2018. The prosecution presented court records placing Kuranten near Swali's residence at the time of the murder. Kuranten, who also worked for Tiger Eye PI, initially declined police investigation and fled to the UK before being arrested in Ghana on March 15, 2025. On January 16, 2019, following the publication of the deceased images, Ahmed Swali was shot and killed in Medina. Further investigations revealed that the accused left Medina for his residence in Amasaman late in the evening at around 11:15 p.m. on the day of the murder. During the investigation, the accused declined multiple police invitations and later fled to the United Kingdom in August 2019. He subsequently returned to Ghana, and intelligence led to his arrest in Amasaman on March 15th, 2025. He admitted knowing the deceased, visiting Honorable Kennedy Japan, and taking photographs with the deceased, but denied selling the photographs to anyone, the prosecution told the court. The prosecution also added that investigations are still ongoing. Now away from that news and on to the next story. The Industrial Relations Officer of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, Abbas Imoro, has called on Ghanaians to reject any transport fare increment proposed by the Alliance of Drivers. According to him, no official decision has been made regarding fare adjustments, and any unilateral increment by drivers group is not recognized. Speaking in an interview with the media, Mr. Imoro emphasized that the GPRTU has not sanctioned any fare hikes and that transport fares can only be adjusted after consultations with the Transport Ministry. He assured the public that no such discussions have taken place and urged passengers to pay only the current fares. We are saying nobody should pay more than what they are paying now. Fare adjustments must follow due process, including consultations with the Transport Ministry, which represents the interest of the general public. He reiterated that the GPRTU does not support individual driver groups imposing new fares without broader consensus. He also called on the Transport Minister to address the issue publicly to prevent potential conflicts at transport stations. Passengers are therefore advised to report any unauthorized fare increases as the official fare structure remains unchanged.
Being told that is cheating, and we have a system, we have something in our law, the LI 2180. You look at regulation 121, which says if you don't or you haven't registered with a transport union, transport society or transport company, you are not supposed to work under the laws of the land. But here they are, we call them floating drivers. They are the cause of all these things. They don't fall under any umbrella, and they are creating these problems. Until the law enforcing agencies get on their nerves, they won't stop. So it's within one of the discussions we had with the minister, we have referred him to that. He should make sure you are working and taking fair charges. Nobody is complaining. We know you are working illegally, but we never complain. But if you are going to work and cheat the citizens, we won't keep quiet. We will make sure.
Moving away from the local news and onto the international news. An Italian fugitive accused of having coordinated the shipment of large cocaine cargoes from Latin America to Europe has been arrested in Colombia. Colombia's National Police Chief described Emmanuel Grigorini, who is also known as Dollarino, as the head of the Italian Mafia Latin America. He said Grigorini had been tracked down to an apartment in the seaside city of Cartagena in a multinational operation which included Italian, British and Colombian investigators. He had been on the run since 2023. When prosecutors accused him of being a key figure in the Lombardy mafia system, which they described as an alliance between the Camorra, Cosa Nostra, and Indaghreta mafia groups. Police accused Grigorini of having a key role in organizing cocaine shipments from the Colombian port cities of Cartagena, Barranquilla, and Santa Marta to Europe. Colombian Police Chief Carlos Triana said Grigorini's arrest was a severe blow to the transnational crime syndicates. He also described him as an invisible narco who did not draw attention to himself. Surveillance footage published by the Colombian authorities showed him going to the gym and visiting local restaurants in the upscale neighborhood where he had rented an apartment, apparently without fear of being recognized. Prosecutors say his arrest in Colombia points to an increased presence of the Italian mafia in Latin America. According to Inside Crime, a think tank specializing in organized crime, European criminal networks have been establishing their own drug smuggling routes in South America rather than relying on middlemen. Italian mafia groups in particular have expanded their presence in Colombia and Brazil in recent years. In October, Luigi Belfidere, one of Italy's most wanted men, was detained in the city of Medellin, where he had posed beside the grave of the late Colombian drug lord. Pablo Escobar. Away from that story, Poland and the Baltic states have announced plans to withdraw from a key international treaty banning anti-personnel landmines, citing the rising threats from Russia. In a joint statement, the defense ministers of Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Poland said that since signing the Ottawa Treaty, threats from Moscow and Italy, Belarus have significantly increased. It is paramount to give their troops flexibility and freedom of choice to defend NATO's eastern flank, they said. The Ottawa Treaty, also known as the Mine Ban Treaty, came into force in 1997. It aims to ban anti-personnel mines, those aimed at humans worldwide, and has been signed by more than 160 countries, but some major military powers, including China, India, Russia, Pakistan, and the US, never signed up to it. All of the Baltic states had signed the convention by 2005, while Poland joined in 2012. In their joint statement on Tuesday, the nation's defense ministers said, however, that the security situation in their region since signing the treaty had significantly deteriorated. In light of these considerations, they unanimously recommend withdrawing from the Ottawa Convention. With this decision, we are sending a clear message to our countries that our countries are prepared and can use every necessary measure to defend our territory and freedom. The defense ministers also stressed that despite plans to leave the treaty, Poland and the Baltic states are still committed to international humanitarian laws, including the protection of civilians during armed conflict. Our nations will continue to uphold these principles while addressing our security needs. All four countries are in the NATO alliance, and all four share borders with Russia. Since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, the Baltic states and Poland have hugely increased military spending and lent a great deal of support to Ukraine. By percentage of GDP, the Baltic states and Poland are among the highest donors of aid to Ukraine. Ukraine is a signatory to the Ottawa Treaty, although it has received landmines from the US during Russia's full-scale invasion, and in the past has told the UN that due to Russia's invasion, it cannot guarantee it is abiding by the treaty. Article 20 of the convention specifically states that, however, that a nation cannot withdraw from the treaty if it is currently at war. The UN estimates that Ukraine is now the most mined nation in the country. Moving on to other stories. Turkish authorities have detained Istanbul Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu, a leading rival to President Erdogan, just days before he was expected to be named a presidential candidate. İmamoğlu from the CHP party faces accusations of corruption and aiding a terrorist group. The arrest is part of a broader crackdown targeting opposition figures, prompting protests and clashes with police in Istanbul. The government has banned public gatherings and restricted access to social media. The CHP has condemned the arrest as a coup against our next president, while Turkey's justice minister insists no one is above the law. İmamoğlu's detention comes as his party prepares to select a presidential candidate, with İmamoğlu as the sole contender. Moving on to the last story. Russia and Ukraine have exchanged air attacks targeting each other's infrastructure, hours after Putin indicated Russia would halt attacks on Ukrainian energy sites. Ukraine's Zelensky said Russian strikes hit civilian infrastructure, including hospitals, and accused Putin of rejecting a full ceasefire in a call with Trump. Russia claims Ukraine attacked an oil depot and that they destroyed 57 Ukrainian drones. Both sides conducted a prisoner exchange, releasing 175 prisoners of war each. Putin rejected an immediate and full ceasefire in Ukraine, agreeing only to halt attacks on energy infrastructure, following a much-anticipated call with Trump. The Russian leader declined to sign up the comprehensive month-long ceasefire that Trump's team recently worked out with Ukrainians in Saudi Arabia. But Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that Russia and the US will agree either today or on Thursday the dates and attendees of their next meeting. US talks on Ukraine are due to continue on Sunday in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The US envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, said about 80% of Ukrainians' energy infrastructure has been destroyed by Russian bombs. Zelensky stated last September. Kyiv has in turn conducted drones and missile strikes deep into Russian territory and on oil and gas facilities. Now to end the news, the headlines again. Mining licenses issued after December 7, 2024 has been revoked by Lands Minister. Mame Sama Pepra takes over as acting registrar of companies. Anas Arimeyawa now celebrates legal victory over Kennedy Ejapon. Erdogan rival arrested days before becoming presidential candidate. Russia and Ukraine carry out attacks after Putin-Trump call. Thank you for watching News at 6. Now to acknowledge my sponsors: Big Family Multimedia Institute, BFM Store, Trustees Network Group, Center for Trade. Thank you for listening and watching News at 6 from the studios of Big Family Radio. You can also watch us live and also follow us on Facebook at BFM Network and ABK TV Ghana. Thank you. My name is Esther Akosiagbobli and this is Big Family Radio.
You are listening